So with the Millennium Falcon arc over and out of the way, we begin the Fantasia arc. And just how is this arc going to open? Let's find out. If this by chance is your first time here, I want to say welcome. To everyone else, I want to say welcome back. We're not going to waste any time here today. I want to get straight into the Fantasia arc. But then again, it's never a waste of time to thank your patrons. And if for some crazy reason there is ever a time where I get to do this whole YouTube thing full time, it will be because of them. So thank you guys so very much. I really can't say how much I appreciate it. Now, we open with Captain Hook. And he's chasing Guts and crew. And come on, Captain, let's be real. Did you not just attempt to go up against Roderick? And you saw what happened. You know what he does to people on the open sea. And you're willingly going to go back into this like it's not going to end badly for you? Not so sure where your head's at right now. But we do get to see that everything seems to be just a little off ever since that strange wind blew through. You know, Griffith's breeze. You know, that thing that happened at the end of the last arc. But anyway, ever since then, the spirits are all acting up. But now we're going to transition over to the Seahorse, or whatever that ship is called. And on our way there, we're going to get to see some shots of the sea, and a bird, and a dragon. And at this point, I just feel like when you look at some of this art, it really just feels like Miura's just showing off. I mean, look at these. It's just wonderful. And you have this overwhelming feel of awe and wonder. And it's immediately interrupted by Shirka being painted because she's having an out-of-body experience that's played for laughs. When suddenly the other pirate ship appears and Roderick points out that this is impossible. That ship can't catch me on a good day. That fucker's all tore up. But they're all going to prepare to go to battle, and Shirka says there's something up with that ship. That's not a normal ship, and those aren't normal people on that ship. So Roderick goes ahead and shoots a volley at the ship when the ship just suddenly dives underwater. Because it's a ghost ship. And we get this wonderful panel of Guts' arm just snapping on like... And well, let's just not waste any time getting this arc just a rolling right along. I mean, Jesus. I don't even know how many pages we're into it, but we're already into it, if you know what I mean. When suddenly the pirate ship reemerges from under the water, and if this isn't cool, I don't know what is. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it looks so good. And there are so many, I want to say Pirates of the Caribbean vibes to all of this. You know, from the ghost ship to the sinking to the reemerging. Just the imagery in general is so grand, it's so epic, and very reminiscent of the Pirates franchise. And I can't help but love these pirate ship scenes. They're just so great and they're just so awesome. And it's so surprising to me every single time because I said it before, I'm just not a pirate person. That's not like, if anyone were to be like, you know, the pirate sections are going to be super great, I'd be like, okay. I don't know. It's just not necessarily my go-to for entertainment. But damn if this doesn't get me every time. And as awesome as this is, for some strange reason, the second the Captain Hook reemerges, it immediately then devolves into this weird scene out of a Scooby-Doo cartoon, like complete with, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. I think it's, I lost everything because of you meddling kids. But either way, like, what? And then the immediate panel below that is just a whole panel of jokes about him from the kids. Like, I bet they're all lonely and incompetent bums. That's just sad. Look at the adults complaining about the kids. And, I mean, it's just, like, this was awesome. This was exciting. I was invested. Why'd you have to go and ruin it? And whatever, it's not a deal breaker. I mean, it is what it is. At this point, I understand it. It's the humor, and it pops up from time to time. But I just don't appreciate the humor. I never have, and I just never will. It is just not for me. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker. It would just be better without it. Especially considering that it immediately goes back to being awesome afterwards. And when I say awesome, I mean awesome. and intense as hell, because the very next page is this. And if you saw the movie The Mist, you already know what these things can do.
Davey's so good.
Also, speaking of that, I'm forever bringing up just how influential Berserk is and how many things that it has influenced over the years, like Elden Ring, or pretty much any From Software game will lift designs straight out of this and put them right into their games. I've also, in the past, pointed out certain things this has borrowed from other mediums like Hellraiser and whatnot. Well, these, I'm sorry, were lifted straight from the movie The Mist. I went back and checked. The Mist came out before this did. So you can't tell me that guy didn't see that and go, oh, yep, those are mine. I'm taking that and I'm putting that right into my manga. And you know what? Good for him, because that shit was intense and this shit is intense. But anyway, the tentacles are going to come in and they're going to attack and they're going to mess everything up, and it's just as awesome and it's just as cool and as intimidating and action-packed as you would expect it to be, but someone's curiously missing, like Guts. But don't worry, because we're going to get a panel of him cracking his neck. And real quick, I also want to point out just how much I love these shots. Like, everything's going to hell. All hell's breaking loose. The pirate ship's coming up. People are dying. People are talking about the ghost ship. And he's just in there, like, slipping on his arm and cracking his neck. And he's prepping. He's just like, it's okay. He's in no hurry. It's like the most casual, I'm a badass and I know it, and so do you intro to a character in an arc ever. But then he does show up, and he comes out swinging, and there went the tentacles. Like, they're done. It's over. He just tore them up that quickly. Like, all that tension and build up, yeah, here's Guts. It's over. Oh, wait, but no, because the rest of the monster shows up. But he'll just take it out with a flying sword swing powered by the cannon. And now that guy's over. Like, this is just, what an intro. That's all I have to say. What an intro, and it was great. It was perfect. I loved it. And the swing gave Roderick just enough time to reload his cannons. And the cannons tear through the enemy, and they end up having to run away. And the scene is just so satisfying, it's almost crazy. The dance between Guts and Roderick, both being complete masters of their craft, is so much fun to watch. Like, it is utterly satisfying. So far as the opener for a new arc is concerned, this has been absolutely great. And now we dock at a small, mysterious island for repairs. And it might be smart to stay together, you know. I mean, this is a weird and mysterious place. But the first thing we're going to do is split up, because Isidro. Need I say more? And he's going to run away, and he's immediately going to find a mysterious girl and a cave. And then he's going to slip and bust his face open and lose his dagger. And the little mysterious girl is going to take him back to her house so that she can patch him up. Shirka's now going to go off on her own, and Guts and the rest of the crew are going to go to a tavern. And when they get to the tavern, apparently the entire ship's crew is a whole bunch of idiots, because clearly these people in the tavern are drawn just like the ghost ship pirate ghost people, and no one notices. Like, they all just look at them like they're normal people. I mean, except for Guts. He looks like he gets it. Meanwhile, down in the mysterious cave, Shirka's gonna discover Isidro's knife and the tentacle monster. And she goes literally running straight to the house with Isidro and the mysterious little girl in it. Like, how did she know it was there? Well, I could complain and say, how convenient that she just showed up at a house that she didn't know where it was or where Isidro was. But in all fairness, if you stand on top of the island, you can literally see the entire island. And this is literally, like, as far as I'm aware, the only house on the island. So it's not like magic or anything that she showed up. Speaking of which, she's magic, so I don't even know where I'm going with any of this. Also, she senses the mysterious odd of the girl. I guess you could say that the girl's odd was odd. Anyway, now we're going to get the girl's backstory. And she's lived on this island her entire life. She's a loner because the people of the village won't talk to her, or they're afraid of her because her dad was a human and her mom was a mermaid. She also says that she's never met her mom and that her dad died a few years ago. And there used to be a terrible sea god that lived in this island. Tentacle monster. And the islanders, for some reason, associate the evil sea god with the mermaids. But ever since this weird breeze blew through, the townspeople don't seem to come out anymore, and there's strange noises coming from the cave. Now, over at the tavern, all of the villagers are going to show up at once. And the crew, of course, is a bunch of idiots. It's like, oh, is this our welcoming party? And the townspeople say,
we warmly welcome you as our guests. Tonight is a full moon, and it's a special one. It's the Easter of the Lord of the Island.
Oh, good. It's a party. I wonder if there'll be a candy. Jesus, Guts, that was so rude. These people were inviting you to a party with candy. They said Easter, bro. But anyway, all of Guts' rudeness aside, the tentacles show up now. And Guts is going to do battle. And now they go outside and they are everywhere. Like the whole monsters, not just tentacles, like the whole monster thing. And there are more than one. Like, there's like a dozen of these bitches out here. And Shirka senses that this is happening, and she's going to go help when suddenly they see a pirate ship climbing up the side of the hill. Like literally. Just climbing. And then flash over to Guts, and he's fighting all the monsters over there when suddenly the ship shows up where he's at. And the monster from inside the ship is there now. And now it's literally just, it's overwhelming. It's too much for Guts to handle. And Guts just can't wait anymore, and against everybody's better judgment, Guts goes ahead and goes berserk. And here we go. And Ashirka is immediately going to attempt to astral project over to Guts and try and get him back under control. But the armor's too strong and she can't get in, so they're going to have to fight their way there across the island instead. When Casca goes running off and suddenly goes running up and grabs what looks like a little child. Yeah, I see him. Hasn't had the big reveal yet, but I know who she's grabbing. Creepy fucking kid from before. But just as this is happening, Guts is losing himself within the armor. When the kid draws Guts' attention to Casca and then places his hand on Guts, freeing him from the armor's influence just long enough for Shirka to jump on his back and free him from the armor entirely. Now, with Guts free from the armor and all of the monsters around them destroyed, because when he went berserk, he really went berserk, now they're all in the clear. And now they're all going to recognize that little kid from the kid before on the beach, and even Guts acknowledges as the kid is the one who saved him. So I guess I'm going to have to stop calling him creepy. I still don't know if I trust him, though. And Isidro's going to invite the little girl to go on the ship with him. The little mermaid girl. And at this point, I'm wondering if we're actually attempting to fold a new character into the group, and she will continue to be a main character as we move forward in the story, or if she's going to serve more of a temporary purpose in the story, kind of like Jill did in the Lost Children arc. I'm not sure. As much as I feel like this would really be a great way to fold a new character into the group, as of right now, I'm kind of getting Jill vibes. Like, I feel like we might say goodbye to her when this is all over. But anyway, with all that out of the way, the little girl's agreed to join. The little boy's been acknowledged. The coast is clear. All the creatures in the immediate vicinity have been destroyed. We can get the fuck out of here now. But no, because Guts says we aren't leaving. We're going to finish this right here, right now. Because right now we're on land and we have a better chance of fighting these things on land than we do out there on the open sea. And if we go now, they're just going to chase us and they're just going to come back. We make our stand right here, right now, and we finish things. All right, Guts. But if we're going to do this, then Guts has to go berserk again. And Shirka's going to have to go with him. And if Shirka goes with him, then that means that the only person who can cast a defense spell for the rest of the group in the ship is Farnesay. And she, of course, doesn't think that she can do it, because she's never cast a spell like this before. But Shirka encourages her and says, don't worry, it's an ideal first spell for a new magic user to cast. And you will be the ship's key defense. And with everyone in the ship and crew ready, Shirka and Farnace synchronize their rhythms and project out above their bodies, while Farnace says, "I am a mage. I am the key defense." And I have to stop there. Like, I can't. Clearly this isn't stopping. Like right when the boy shows up and Guts gets freed from the armor and they invite the little girl onto the ship, and I'm like, oh, this is a great stopping point. This is wonderful. And then the chapter just kept going, and I'm like, you could stop now. And then the chapter starts to like build tension and stuff, and I'm like, you can stop now. And then they start casting the spell. I'm like, dude, stop. Are you kidding me? Anyway, just by reading the titles for the upcoming chapters, this clearly isn't ending anytime soon. So I'm going to stop here because I can't do much more. This is crazy. It still feels like a pretty good stopping point, in all fairness, even though it's kind of like super crazy cliffhanger. We'll cut this section in half, I guess. So anyway, this section was great. As an opener for an arc, I thought this was truly wonderful. I really did. I loved absolutely everything about it. I really did. I thought it was super great. It was super fun. It was super tense. Some of that high magical feeling from some of the previous sections was in full display here. Everything about it was great, except for the humor. The humor was terrible as always, but that's just really, at this point, it's so minimalistic and it's so unimportant to the rest of the story. I just kind of overlook it and I just keep rolling. I'm going to probably continue to complain about it because it's just that bad. But as far as my grand enjoyment of Berserk is concerned, it's not that big of a deal. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to give this one an 8.5. I think it was exceptionally good. I just don't know if it was good enough for a 9. So we're going to go 8.5. The link for both my Discord and my Patreon is in the description below. As always, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.